For the first time in a long time, the Eastern Conference is absolutely stacked. You've got the Boston Celtics, the Pacers, the Knicks, Bucks, 76ers, and Miami Heat. But what if I told you that the Cleveland Cavaliers may just be better than all of those teams? Sounds crazy, right? Stay tuned and you'll see it might not sound as crazy as you think. When the Cavs lost to the New York Knicks last year in the first round, many basketball fans assumed that the Cavs' already small window to make a deep run and possible finals appearance was long gone. The reason for that is because the Cavs were terrorizing the league last year. Most people forget that they were literally the best defensive team in the NBA all season long, while also being top 10 in offensive efficiency. It doesn't get much better than that. In today's game, whenever you have an electric, versatile offense and a near historically great defense, there is just no way possible you should lose in the first round to the New York Knicks of all teams. Obviously, looking at this season, you can tell the Knicks were a great team, but the Cavs team was better on paper and should have put up a better fight. Losing in a tough Game 7 would have been understandable, but losing 4-1 is unacceptable. After that loss, there were a lot of rumors that Donovan Mitchell would eventually get traded to a bigger market. Although it was early in his Cavs career, times are just different now. Your team has to be pretty damn stacked to make it to the finals. Well, that's unless you have a generational superstar like Nikola Jokic or LeBron. But Mitchell isn't, respectfully. And there's no shame in that either. Mitchell announced as soon as he got to Cleveland that he wanted to win and compete for a title. And after getting obliterated by the Knicks after having a near perfect season as a team and player, their chances of being that good the very next season was slim. This 2024 season, the rumors got even louder after Darius Garland and Evan Mobley were both injured, the Cavs' two best players outside of Donovan. So now everyone, including myself, I'm not gonna lie, thought he was 100% getting traded at the deadline to a bigger market team. It was the blockbuster trade we were all waiting for. But things started to change, and they changed in a way that no one could have seen coming, not even LeBron James himself. From January 3rd to February 7th, which was the day before the trade deadline, the Cavs won every single game but one. Yeah, you heard that correctly. They went on an absolute tear, going 19-1. The rumors about trading Mitchell had disappeared quicker than a Magic trade. Mitchell and his gang couldn't be stopped, and as of right now, they're arguably the best team in the NBA, whether you like it or not. And of course, it's all led by Donovan Mitchell. He's averaging 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game while shooting 47% from the field and 36% from three. Over his last 7 games, he's averaging 30 while shooting well over 40%. He's been on a mission. He's playing so well because he's been dominant both at the rim and in the mid-range. Among all guards, he's 3rd in the NBA in shots in the restricted area and among the top in the league in general. When you factor in attempts, he's also top 15 in mid-range shots. And it's no surprise he's having this much success on the inside. He's built for it. At 6'3", he weighs around 220 pounds, so he has the build of a mini tank. He uses his overpowering strength to body his opponents while getting to the rim, knocking them off balance before rising up over them with this high vertical. However, he doesn't even have to resort to using his strength, because let me tell you, when it comes to downhill threats, there aren't many more threatening than this man. His ball handling ability with a full head of steam is very, and I mean very, underrated. There's only a few players who've had an elite handle while going 100 miles per hour. John Morant and DeAndre Fox are a couple who come to mind, but Mitchell is right there with them. Once he gets that Allen or Evan Mobley ball screen at the top of the key, you better send 4 guys in the paint immediately. He excels at getting downhill after splitting double teams. And once a defender rotates over to him, he can just hit you with a fast 2 or 3 combination move, or just hit you with an incredibly fast and effective single move like an in and out and lay it up in style. But if you have a great shot blocker in the paint like Rudy Gobert or Anthony Davis, that won't stop him from putting the ball in the hoop either, because like I mentioned, his mid-range scoring has been just as good as his ability to finish. One important quality for a great mid-range shot among guards is having a fast and smooth pickup. Mitchell has perfected that quality. He can appear to be fully committed to a downhill drive and then within a moment's notice be up several feet into the air letting off a mid-range jumper that will be hitting nothing but net more times than not. He's just such a unique player because he can get to his spots easily due to his ability to control pace and play at his own speed. This allowed him to be a high-quality point guard while Garland was out with a jaw injury. Mitchell was controlling the pace just as well. But the part about his game that's been shocking is his defense. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's one of the leaders in steals, averaging nearly 2 per game. He's He's not an elite defender by any means, but his positive impact on this end is undeniable. But we can't talk about defense without mentioning their two twin towers, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Starting with Mobley, he hasn't lost a step since coming back from knee surgery. Being out over 6 weeks didn't take any of his supernatural defensive powers. Don't forget that this is the same kid who made an all-defensive team in just his second season, and is largely considered to have one of the better defensive seasons as a rookie rim protector in league history. Although he can swat shots with the best of them, his impact is far more than just stats. He can switch onto all positions and prevent high-quality shots from going up all over the floor. From the three-point line at the top of the key to the corner three, all the way into the mid-range and paint, he has everything on 24-hour lockdown, like it's Pelican's Bay. From watching him play defense, it's easy to forget that he's only 22 years old. I don't see how he can possibly get better than this. Imagine how good he'll be when he's about 25 or 26. He definitely has a Defensive Player of the Year trophy in his future, if not multiple. If the Cavs want to increase their chances of making a big push at the finals this year, he has to play at this high level of defense. The impact he has now, he has to have that same impact in the playoffs. But now that he's got a series under his belt, I think he will. Playoff and regular season basketball is very different. The game is faster. Every possession counts, so the anxiety and pressure is at an all-time high, which leads to mistakes on both ends of the floor for younger, inexperienced players. I don't think that'll be a problem for him this year, though. Offensively, he has to be sharp as well. Right now, he's averaging 15 and 10 while shooting 58% from the field. But in last year's playoffs, he only averaged 9 points and shot 45% from the field. His production on both ends of the floor is crucial. Luckily for him, even if his production slips slightly, he has Jarrett Allen to clean up everything. Allen is averaging 15 and 10 while 64% from the field. Offensively, he's been terrific on the boards and incredibly efficient as a finisher at the rim in pick and roll situations. Defensively is where he's been on another level. When Mobley was out, he had to put this defense on his back, and he did just that. And that's why, according to most sources, he's in the Defensive Player of the Year race. What really stands out is his pick and roll defense. You would think just by looking at him that he might be slow on his feet, but being an elite pick and roll defender is more than just having fast feet. It's about having high IQ, understanding positioning and personnel, among other things. He has all of that and more. Having two Defensive Player of the Year bigs on your roster is a cheat code, but it means nothing if it doesn't translate to the playoffs. I know you remember when Jimmy Butler went deer hunting in last year's playoffs and dismantled the Milwaukee Bucks, even though they had not one, not two, but three Defensive Player of the Year level defenders on the team in Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Drew Holiday. If Allen and Mobley can lock down the paint like we know they can, Isaac Okoro can take care of things out on the perimeter. This defense wouldn't have that extra spark without it. When he played for the Auburn Tigers back in college, I knew what his role would be in the NBA. Lock down the opposing team's best scorers. And he's doing that pretty well. But the problems with Okoro has never been his defense. It was the other end of the court, with his lack of handles and shooting. This season, though, that's changed. He's shooting nearly 40% from three this year. And while it's only on a couple of attempts, he still is now finally considered a three-point shooter, which is absolutely huge for this team. Other than superstars, the most important players on a roster are 3-and-D guys. Max Struss and Karis LeVert are two guys who may get left out of the mainstream, but real basketball and Cavalier fans know that these two have the potential to really take over games. Max isn't shooting great from three, but he's the definition of a high-volume shooter. I don't care if he's 0 for 7 in a game. I guarantee you the defense still won't be dumb enough to leave him open. It's kind of funny though when it comes to his shooting. He's either going to go 0 for 7 in a game or make 5 threes. No in between. LeVert is who he's always been, a solid downhill wing threat. He can get downhill as many times as he wants, and if that three ball or mid-range starts to fall, then good luck. All in all, at this rate, the Cavs are a problem. If they can keep this up, they're one of the last teams I would want to play in a 7-game series. What do you guys think though? Are they the best team in the NBA right now? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.